Well, we can watch film of when we played them, and you can see what we were trying to do and kind of how it went. So I think that's nice. Yeah, I mean, really for us, it's about growth, So I think when you're playing somebody like this, almost back to back, it's only been a couple weeks, you can see if we're able to learn from it. And I thought for us, again, right after that match, I thought we learned a lot, even going into the next match against Baylor. I thought what TCU did really well against us is they were just very aggressive in everything that they did. They served tough. They were attacking, very aggressively. We seem to not like it. We seem to be on our heels, and so this is going to be a great opportunity for us to see if we can come back and put up the fight we need to.
Having a weekend where you only had one match, I guess for either of you, what can that do from a recuperation standpoint that you had less burden on you last weekend?
Yeah, you tell me.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, I definitely think we need some breaks throughout the season. It's a long season, but it was nice. He gave us the extra day off this weekend too, so props to him.
See if I regret that. I don't know.
In a relative sense, are these 3-set matches breaks, so to speak, not going into them obviously, but instead of having to do the full 5-set grind and do what you guys have done so many times before this year, is that helping too with sort of that?
I mean, yeah, we don't want to ever call a game like easy, but yeah, it's definitely easier than playing 2 hours compared to maybe 90 minutes.
Right,
so
right.
I think for us, the beginning of our season was really congested, right? We had so many matches in a short period of time. A lot of them were 5-setters, a lot of them really just tough physical matches. And I think just emotionally, we were really exhausted after our non-conference. So for us, which again, this is new to me to have, weeks with one match, and I've never had that in my career. Or to have the breaks that we have. I've never had weekends off in my career. This is like our third one where we've had, we're done by Friday. That's different. So just trying to navigate that the best we can and prepare for a Wednesday match. Do we give them time off with a short turnaround? Do we practice Sunday? I thought based upon the beginning of our season, hey, this is where we can maybe catch up with some rest. This is where we can catch up on schoolwork. This is where we can catch up, on those things. So I think they appreciate it, and they practice really hard today. And that's just what I ask. Hey, we just make sure we can't just ease into practice this week. Like, you got to come out ready to go, especially because TCU is so good and they're going to be after us.
You don't get to do this, but we do. Friday night's going to be a lot of fun too. Can you take us through the Allen Fieldhouse game match and what went into that? Did you inherit that? Did you know that was happening before you got here? How did that come about?
I'm interested to hear the players' perspective, but no, this is more of like a guinea pig thing for me. No, when I got the job, Horsch is incredible. It's just, it's limited in capacity. So it's just, I was just really interested to see what the actual fan base is like for volleyball in the area. And I think Horsch doesn't really give me a good barometer for what that is. If it's 2,200 and that's what it is, then that's something I want to know. If it's 5,000, if it's 10,000, if it's more, like, what is that going to be? Because when I go fight some fights, I want to know what I'm fighting for and what actually makes sense for us within the community. And so I thought this would just be an opportunity to see how many people just really are excited about women's volleyball here at Kansas. How many people could we count on, to maybe want to be season ticket holders or be consistent supporters of the program. And so this is a chance. And I think what's hard about this is that, even just, so we're out on campus today, I'm just selling my soul to anybody on campus, and some of our players did, just getting to meet everybody. But there's not going to be a culture of huge student support because we can only have about 100 or whatever in Horsch. So it's not like, this is not a consistent thing where the students, like basketball, know, hey, this is what we're doing every week, every weekend. So just, it's a bit of an attraction because it's the first time in a decade. But it's more about me just saying, what do we got here? What are we working with? And not that I'm afraid of growing it, but it's just, where are we right now? Like, trying to see where we're at. So how do you guys feel about playing out? Is that exciting?
We're super excited. Yeah, I mean, it's always been in the talks, like trying to get to a bigger venue, but never actually done it. So it's super nice, and we get to bring our Terraflex in, have you guys go out on the street to promote it, and I don't know, I'm just really excited. And it's the Sunflower Showdown, so it should be a great game.
Yeah, for both of you too, the logistics of it, preparing to play in there, I would imagine it's almost endless. You've got bigger sight lines, bigger venue, different floor, different setup. Have you practiced in that?
I think there's been 3 all-staff meetings just to prepare for this one. So again, just a huge shout out to everybody in the department, because it's not just something that you can easily do. Right. So many people are stepping up to put this on for us. So definitely don't take it lightly, and just again, thank you to everybody for putting in the time and the work to do that. We practiced in there once last week. We'll practice again the day before we play Kansas State. So we only get 2 practices in there. So again, no, I think that's the reason not to play in Allen is because Horsch is such a great home court advantage. Just because again we're very comfortable in there. The fans are a great asset in the smaller gym. So I don't know what it'll be like in Allen. Again, that's why I say it's a guinea pig. Like I'm just interested. I'm interested to see. And Kansas State's very good this year. And so I think it'll be a great test for us. And again, I don't know how comfortable we'll feel in Allen. Probably as comfortable as they feel. But hopefully we have a great fan support come out and they'll make our team really excited. For the Sunflower Showdown.
Ryan, how different does the volleyball part of it feel when you're practicing?
I mean, it just feels huge.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. I mean, our court in Horsch, it's so compacted. You feel like the fans are right next to you, which I love that feeling personally. Some people couldn't, but I think it's definitely going to be different with the benches out and the bleachers and everything like that. But during our first practice, it was just like, wow, like it just feels so big. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, again, we did some matches earlier in the year where we were playing in huge arenas, right? That had 10,000+ people, and that was on purpose. It was because, again, if you make it to a Final Four, if you make it late in the season, those are the type of venues you're playing in. So I just want to be used to that atmosphere. This is the best way that we can simulate that on campus. Again, I can't tell you what the fan support's going to be, although I'm hopefully doing my part in saying, hey, 10,000 people, I'll sing a national anthem for everybody. Like if that's what it takes, if people come out, I'm happy to do it. But if we can attract that, and again, it just helps prepare us for December.
Have you sung the national anthem before? Not like in front of a crowd.
Yeah. So at Oregon a couple of years ago, I made a bet with the season ticket holders that if we broke our record, I'd sing it on senior night, and we shouted it. We doubled it. So then senior night, I sang the national anthem against USC.
How'd it go?
I had a bit of a cold. No, it was. I didn't get booed.
Yeah.
So I think there was low expectations. So I won't embarrass the song, or the purpose for it. But I also won't be getting a record contract. So.
Ryan, what does it mean you as a Kansan to have the K-State match be the one that's getting put there?
I think it's such a cool opportunity. I feel like it's a way to get our fans to come and support us. More fans that usually don't get to come to our games because they're almost always sold out. And I mean, my family always comes, but I'm having so much more family members be able to come. They got tickets just because it's the K-State KU's showdown, and half of them went to K-State, so they're ready to see both sides of it.
And as one of just a couple in-state players on this year's roster, what kind of responsibilities that put on you to sort of perpetuate the legacy of this rivalry and let your team?
I mean, I've never lost to them, so I'm not planning on doing it this year. But I mean, I'm a senior. We have Heidi, some others that are from here. They obviously have grown up KU, so I don't think anyone's ready to let that legacy down.
Matt, last time we asked you kind of about if you had settled into rotations and who you are and all that, you said not quite. 7 conference games in, what's that, 11 left then? Is the answer different now?
I feel like part of it is injuries, right? So they took away some of our options.
Right.
But I think, honestly, obviously I don't want us being injured, but that has probably helped narrow us down a little bit. And I think, like Dalton's doing a great job, and Grace has had some great matches with Selena and Chris being out. And so I think that's helped us settle in a little bit. But I would say even more so than just the lineup is just what we're trying to do as a team. The discipline aspect, what the block's supposed to do, what the defense is trying to do, etc. You can really see them starting to buy in. I would say after the TCU match. That was really, I feel like, maybe our biggest wake-up call. And again, kudos to TCU. I thought they played great. But it definitely showed us that if we don't, play well as a team, then we're going to be really susceptible against good teams, and that's what they were. So, again, I'm excited to see if we've grown, from that, and it sure feels like we have. So hopefully we're going to be up and bring our best against them on Wednesday.
In terms of the K-State rivalry, obviously this is your first year. Have you done research into the rivalry as a whole, or do you kind of just let the KU players, more importantly the in-state players, kind of incite that, I guess, in terms of importance?
Not really. I feel like I haven't been told a ton about it. Maybe I'm going to have to do some research now. Maybe you can tell me. Maybe you can tell me some of the things. But I don't know. I feel like I've heard a lot about Missouri. I feel like I've heard a lot about that when you walk around and look. K-State, I'm assuming it's similar like when I was at Oregon State. It's just you're fighting for your state supremacy there, that kind of thing. But like she said, she hasn't lost to them. So then I don't know. I mean, now I feel like a little pressure there,
There's
right?
some pressure.
A little pressure. She's gonna come for me, but I appreciate Casey. I think Coach Mansfield, their head coach, is excellent. I think they're doing a great job. I think they're playing really good volleyball right now. They've lost some really close matches against some of the best teams in our conference, but they're pushing everybody, and they're a tournament team right now. So it's not just some game, I think, in Allen. I think, one, you have the rivalry piece, but two, it should be a really nice contest. It should be two really good teams going at it, and it's an important match for both sides. So I'm looking forward to everybody bringing their A game.
And in terms of the TCU game coming up on Wednesday, how important is it in terms of, momentum with the last three games going 3-0, 3-1, 3-0? I mean, what does that do for momentum heading into this rematch of a TCU game that you guys just recently lost?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're just talking about the here and now, it's important for us to continue just to grow. And again, I feel like we are doing that. Again, I thought our offense last match wasn't great. I'd like to see us bounce back. I think our offense against Iowa State a couple matches ago is the best we've seen all year. So I'd like to see if we could do that against a really strong block that TCU has. Big picture, I mean, there's not many chances left to get big, impressive wins for the committee, so we were in the top 16 reveal was yesterday, and we weren't in it. I think we're just outside of that. You need a win against that field, and right now we don't have one, and TCU's in that. So on our schedule right now, that's the only team we play left, so if we're trying to put our best foot forward, then it becomes a really important match from that perspective.
Anything else?
Coach, how have your international players reacted now that they've been here through half the season? Do they feel comfortable playing this collegiate style of volleyball as opposed to their international?
I think they look more comfortable to me. I mean, I definitely think the speed of the game is different from what they're used to, but I think they're adapting, but not losing who they are, what makes them special. So I think that's been good. I think they really enjoy their teammates. I think they really enjoy KU, their experience on campus. I think they're loving. I've just heard from them multiple times how thankful they feel, for being here, how grateful they are. They made a big point to say that last week, which I thought was great. And I think they're enjoying their time with their teammates, but they're hilarious. And the three of them are super tight, which I love that they have each other. But yeah, I just think they're getting better every day and just enjoying, their experience more.
That standing ovation Giovanna got coming off the
Yeah.
court the other day, I've never seen anything like that. How did that make you feel?
That's how I felt. I thought that was just really organic. I think that's one of the special things about, again, our fan support and Horsch, is that it really just felt very intimate, and it felt like, they were cheering for one of their kids, is what it felt like, or classmates, or, just up here. But I thought, Giovanna did something pretty special there with like 3 or 4 aces in a row, and they let her know about it. And if you could have seen, I think her face was looking at me, away from the crowd, but if you could have seen her face after that, like she had the really huge smile on her face, like she could really feel the love and appreciated. So I just thought that was a really special thing. And again, I've been to a lot of places and I haven't felt that in away crowds or home crowds. So I thought that was really neat.
Everyone good? Thanks.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.